Hey guys, D1sco here, and so this was earlier today. I didn't even know this had released earlier. I didn't watch it, but I saw one of Scott Junn's latest video title, sort of, which made me think there was something out, and there is. So today I'm reacting to the November 2023 Dead by Daylight developer update. Now, I don't really know much going into this. The October and the September developer updates had quite a bit to say, and very intriguing because the school merchant sort of rework was one of those, and quite a bit of other stuff. Um, and we're still waiting on the last killer of the year, so I'm wondering. Personally, I'm hoping for some information about that will be in here because I really want to play that PTB, and I really want to see who the next licensed killer is because um, they said around the anniversary event, they said that they're both big L's, as in big licenses. Alien being the first one, which is absolutely huge. Nicolas Cage seems to be like an added little bonus more so than anything crazy, but still very cool. But the killer is known to be a solo licensed killer in the veins of Ghostface and Bubba, or Letterface, whatever you want to call him. Me and Orange like to say Bubba, because why not? I'm still very intrigued about what's coming in January. If you don't know, we're getting a solo survivor in January, like Nicolas Cage or Michaela. I'm very intrigued by them, but I'm super intrigued by by this solo killer because supposedly it's from a big license. And my mind has already been racing. Um, One of the characters I very much want is Norman Bates, though we'll probably, I don't know if we'll ever get him. That'd be awesome. Dracula's another person I'd love to see. Some type of werewolf would be cool. A mummy, like from the movie The Mummy, that would be awesome. Frankenstein's monster would be very cool as well. In Candyman, like come on. Jason Voorhees would be cool as well, although I feel like Jason could come with a survivor, and I'm sure some of the people I mentioned could, but we'll see. But before I ramble on way too long, I have not looked very much into this. I don't know how long this developer update is. Developer updates are usually a bit longer than just the little bug fixes. So buckle up, maybe get some popcorn because we might be here a bit. So let's do this. The end of the year is almost upon us, but we still got news to share. And this update will cover some of the new features and balance changes that gotta have those balance changes because this game desperately needs constant balance changes. That's something that's kind of frustrating about online only games because if it's single player, it seems to be easier to balance everything if it's a single player game. If it's like online only, like say Overwatch or definitely Call of Duty in a lot of ways, or like Fortnite or Apex or any battle royale game, and of course Dead by Daylight and Paladins as well. You need constant bug fixes because people are going to exploit whatever is like super OP and then you nerf that buff like not very used stuff. It's a whole mess. Dead by Daylight behavior has done some interesting stuff in that regards with balance changes. The 40 pick rework was a big one. God, I'm not. I understand what they were trying to do, and I do think it was a good idea. But the 40 pick rework, man, ever since then, it feels like the game got harder. It might just be me though. Um, so I'm very intrigued about the balance changes that will be in here. So that's cool. Next update, including a new customization option, sizable update to an existing killer. That could mean anything. I'm very intrigued by the killer though, and gameplay passes for 2 rounds. I swear to God, if the killer that's getting that sizable update is Freddy, and they somehow manage to make him worse, I'm going to cry. Player cards. I, you lost me already, behavior, but intrigued me. A new customization option has arrived. Player cards are decorative banners and badges which appear in the top right corner of various menus. Your player card will also be featured in the post-match scoreboard so everybody can see them as well. So like what we kind of got going on here, it looks cool. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I'm someone who doesn't really see the point in player cards. Like I understand, like with Call, I'm fine with it in Call of Duty because Call of Duty's pretty much always had player cards. But why? Behavior. This game has been out since 2016, and we haven't needed this. I just think it's weird that we're getting player cards. Although I would love it if, alongside the player card change here, well, I might not see the point of it. I would love for them to update the store to have a player card section, and I still really want them to update the store to have a charm section. They'll probably never do that, but I would love it. I'm also not. I'm also. I hope they tell. I hope they mention how you get these because again, I'm someone who doesn't really see the point in player cards, but I do like messing around with them. I love player cards. I just don't think they're like the biggest thing you need to add, especially to this game. But you better believe I'm going to have some fun with it, and I'm sure some of you will as well. So it says work in progress. I mean, this, who knows when this will be at. Why am I saying trickster? Okay, we'll get the hib after I finish reading this. Banners and badges can be mixed and matched as you please. Nice. A higher rarity ones will be more detailed, with some even being animated. Ooh, like other cosmetics to be able to be able to be. You'll be able to be earn them in various ways. Behavior, you gotta fix these typos. I swear, almost every time I read one of these, there's at least one typo. Behavior. Please fix your typos. Such as events, which makes sense. Like future rest, that makes sense for login rewards or promo codes and so on. Yeah, okay, so pretty standard. With this update, we've also cleaned up the menus and moved your player level and grades to a new player profile screen accessible by clicking on your badge. Okay, I mean, I guess that's one way to like declutter it because you want to add these badges and banners. But again, I don't really see the point of the player card thing to begin. It'll be fun to mess with. I just don't think it's the biggest thing that I don't understand. A small selection of player card options will be available starting with this update, but you can expect to see a wider range of choices appearing over time. Honestly, I'm okay with it. I just think they should have added something like that sooner because it's kind of pointless now. Oh, God. Oh, no. Oh, I'm so nervous. The Trickster. When he's not working on his next album, he's following his other passion. Murder. Throwing a boatload of knives at survivors. So murder. In this update, we're aiming to address points of frustration for both sides. For killers, many feel like the Trickster doesn't quite stack up to the other ranged options. For survivors, dodging blades could feel inconsequential since so few would injure you. So, counterpoint, this is Orange's arch nemesis. Trickster is a fucking god. My arch nemesis is fucking Huntress, but he's annoying to go up against for me as well. He is a god against us. He is an absolute destroyer of worlds. I'm scared he's about to destroy us even harder after this. It sounds like he will. So far, it kind of feels like good killer player, the good trickster players and good survivor players are mainly who gave them this feedback. So we might be screwed. We might be screwed because this kind of sounds busted. He already reloads a second faster. I'm very scared. We'll be making a series of balance and quality of life changes to our resident rapid fire ranged killer. I'm so scared, not only for Orange, because this is his arch nemesis, but for me as well. Oh god, if they do something like this for Huntress, I'm gonna be livid. Please, no. Behavior. Don't watch this video. Don't watch it, behavior. No. Click off, please, for the love of God. Rapid fire. The trickster's fast-paced attacks are what set him apart from other ranged killer stacks. Everyone else is very slow. Huntress throws one at a time. Deathslinger's got to turn the flipping lever action rifle into a harpoon gun like an idiot. And then you have Plague. He definitely throws the fastest. So we wanted to focus on this rapid fire machine gun gameplay. You better believe it's machine gun gameplay, because my god. He is a god. For this update, we've asked ourselves, what's better than throwing a bunch of knives? Answer, throwing even more knives. Oh, god damn it. The trickster now throws 4 blades per second. Oh, god, no. Behavior. Why? Was 3 blades per second by default, and his throw rate no longer increases with each blade from. That's good, but oh god, he throws faster. To keep this feeling fair for survivors, you better keep this feeling fair for survivors, because god damn. We have also increased the laceration meter to 8 hits. Thank you, you're giving us a chance. Let's go. Was 6. As well as decreased the time before it decays to 10 seconds. Was 15. Thank you, behavior. Let's go. That's good. That's good. I don't know if it's enough. So me and Orange are probably not going to feel that too much. Now he throws faster. We're very much going to feel that. So he's just going to machine gun. Boom. We already hit 8 or 8 knives. We're fucking injured. He's going to keep machine gunning them. Now we're fucking dead. And now we're hooked. Awesome. Great. Fun. Good times over here. But it'll be interesting to see. I'm assuming this trickster change will probably be in the. This might be in the PTB with the new killer. It would be kind of weird. I'm expecting this to just be. It would be weird because I'm expecting the PTB to focus on that licensed killer. But whenever this goes live, it'll definitely be fun to mess around with. And me and Orange, I might mess around with this. Potentially in the PTB, though I'm not sure. This means that the laceration meter will fill at the same rate as before, but successfully dodging blades will be a little more rewarding. Lastly, recoil when rapidly throwing blades can be tricky to deal with. I don't really notice it, particularly for those playing with a controller. Yes, which is why we don't play Trickster on my account very often, because we either have to deal with a super laggy laptop or a PS4 controller. So, and a PS5 controller now. Whenever I get PS Plus back, we could play on PS5. So that'd be another controller to deal with. The point is, we got a lot of stuff to do with controllers, and playing this game with a controller is very difficult when you're a killer. Therefore, we have removed recoil entirely. That sounds busted. This will make your blades easier to control, making them more skill dependent. The downside, you won't be able to blame the recoil for that blade you missed. Fast. So far, gotta say, he sounds busted. Trickster sounds like a absolute destroyer of worlds against newer survivors, which is interesting because he already was that, but he sounds more like that. But if you're actually good against them, which me and Orange are not, we suck very much against them, you can deal with it a bit better, but he still sounds kind of busted in that regard too. He throws slightly fast. He throws slightly faster now. You're like, yes, he doesn't get like speed up as he throws, but he's still throwing them faster than he was before, like default speed. No recoil from throwing the knives. It seems very busted. I get that it's supposed to help out the controller players, and that does help us out a lot. But that also gives PC players who already have a lot of advantages in this game already by default, because they're playing with a keyboard and mouse, and they get their full arm movement with a mouse. That's another massive advantage to PC Trickster players. Like, so far, and I know I'm probably sounding a little or whatever. I'm excited to play with these changes. I'm excited to experience it. It just at least reading it so far, it sounds a little busted, but there's more to read. Fast paced. To complement his quicker throws, we've also reviewed the Trickster's movement speed. The Trickster now moves at 4.6 meters a second by default, was 4.4 meters a second, so he's 0.2 meters a second faster. This puts him on par with other fast killers, and as a result, the Trickster's tear rates has been increased to 42 meters, which 24 meters. Okay, so it's out because Wesker, our Lord and Savior, he has the biggest tear rates in the entire game. And so it seems like Trickster's a bit more on par with Wesker. Wesker's pretty fast too. I'm not saying he's like stupid fast, but you know what I mean. So Trickster's now going to be faster, which is definitely a problem. Which can be busted because he can find survivors a little faster. Because he's faster now, you know, that speed will really help him out in chase. And also, but his tear rate is bigger, so you can hear him coming quicker. So it's kind of a trade-off, but it sounds pretty good. This will not only help him close the gap during a chase, which I just mentioned, but also spend less time traversing the map looking for his next target, which kind of go next hand in hand. Combined, these changes will lead to Trickster feeling much more agile and fast-paced, and kind of busted. Like, let's just be honest here. Honestly, I think Trickster, according to Otstarva, our Lord and Savior, Otstarva is a absolute God. He's an absolute genius when it comes to this game. He really is. Me and Orange look up to the guy a lot. We disagree with him on some stuff, but that's everyone disagrees with everybody. Like, come on, on something. Like, come on now. But I gotta say, I am curious where he'll put him. I think right now he's like B's here, according to Otstarva. This change just was how I'm personally reading it. I could see Otstarva putting Trickster once he gets this changes at least A tier, but possibly S tier. I'm expecting A, but possibly S. It sounds pretty. Oh no. Oh god. Main event, I have only seen a handful of times. It's very difficult to pull it off. So I'm very scared. Main event allows you to throw even more blades even faster. However, this requires you to hit quite a few blades to activate first, taking several chases to charge up. This made it feel fairly rare for the killer, because it was, but also made it a little frustrating if we happened to be the unlucky thrower to be caught when it was finally activated. As a result, we are making the following changes. Main event now requires 6 blades to charge. God fucking damn it. Main event's duration has been reduced to 5 seconds within. Thank God. So, I will say this. Main event, how it works right now, it's very rare to see. So I understand they want you to see it more. But it's very powerful right now, despite that. So I'm very happy that while it allows you main event a lot more, its duration time being cut in half to 5 seconds. It sounds very good. I'm very, because yes, you'll see it more, but it won't stay in main event long. I think it's good. These changes will make main event available much more often. It will, but requires the killer to use it strategically to take advantage of it because it has so much less time. But yeah, so far, main events change is very big. I'm very interested to see how it works on paper. Again, it does sound a little busted, but so main event sounds much more balanced now, at least in my opinion, and how I'm sort of reading it. So, seeing this Trickster in action is going to be interesting. Oh god, this perk changes. Of course there is. We'll get to the perk. So the perk changes are going to be after this, so that'll be cool to see. It'd be kind of funny if Trapper had a change in this, so it's good. But we'll see. But add-ons. Lastly, we have reviewed the effect of a handful of his add-ons. You kind of always need to check add-ons if you're going to, like, change a killer. Because Sadako got a full-on reworked not too long ago. The Skull Merchant change was definitely a rework, just considering how much about her they changed. They changed how she worked completely. Trickster here, while working the exact same, you could make the argument that this is a rework because they are reworking main event, which is a big part of its power, and they reworked quite a bit of Trickster. I would argue this is a rework of him. Honestly, I would, because so much of him has gotten changed in this. So it makes sense that they need to change some add-ons to fit how he works now better. So let's see. Memento Blades has a new effect. Decreases time between blade throws by 5%. So basically he's going to be able to throw blades even faster now. Technically. Oh god. Inferno Wires. Increases duration of main event by 40% with 25%, so it'll last longer. Okay. Again, with how they changed it, you do need to be more strategic with it, but if you G1's Autograph. New effect. Decreased is the number of blades required to charge main event by 1. Okay. Tequila Moonrock. Increases duration of main event by 60% with 50%. Oh god. This Spin Soda. New effect. Decreases the number of blades required to reach main event by 2. Waiting for your watch. Increases the duration of main event by 0.25 seconds. For each blade hit while it is active was 0.4 seconds. Iridescent Photo Card. New effect. For each consecutive blade hit, gain a stackable 1% haste effect up to a maximum of 7%. This bonus is lost when missing a blade or putting a survivor into the dying state. Honestly, they sound a little busted on paper. But definitely good changes. Very welcomed. Very excited to goof off with new Trickster. Made for this, even a small speed boost can make a big difference in the right hands. It sure can. Making some survivors very difficult to catch, which is partly why I suck as killer. I also just suck as general. God, I'm a very bad killer player. If you want a good representation of how much I suck, might I suggest to you a tier list video I made not too long ago. Don't want to scroll very far on our channel at all to find it right now. It is a video. It already has a dislike, which is hilarious to me. But it's just me talking about how I feel like I've come along with killers. Again, it has a dislike. I think whoever made the dislike was expecting it to be something else. I stated it multiple times in that video. It wasn't a literal tier list that's supposed to be taken seriously, so whatever. That's his fault. He can be butthurt all he wants. I don't give a flying fuck. But anyways, but yeah, so, there's that. Since Made for This would activate as soon as the killer survivor became injured. Yeah, not the other way around. That'd be kind of weird. This perk would often be unavoidable. To make this fairer and create opportunities for killers to play around it, we've added an additional condition to the haste effect. If you're killing another survivor, give the endurance stance effect for 6, 8, 10 seconds unchanged. While you are affected by deep wounds, you run 3% faster. Since this is much more situational, this effect now applies while exhausted as well. With this change, the killer would potentially prevent Made for the speed boost from activating entirely by avoiding inflicting deep wounds on that survivor. This also ties both of Made for This effects together, granting a way to gain deep wounds in order to make use of this haste effect. I personally, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, why? Locking this perk behind deep wound, at least that's how I'm reading it. That's very situational. If you go against a Legion, yeah, you might get that Made for This value. But I could see them having to change that either back or finding another way to change Made for This, because that's just that's very situational. We'll see what they do, but Made for This sounds very situational now. But that's it. That might just be I'm reading it. Oh god. What's happening? That's a lot of viewers. Garden of Joy. Joy for some, at least. Not for me and Orange, that's for sure. We have gathered and reviewed feedback for the Garden of Joy map. Thank God, in this update, we'll be making a series of changes to improve gameplay. First, we turned our attention to the windows of the large house. Previously, there were several strong windows, which granted survivors plenty of distance each time they were vaulted. Making some chases drag on, we have reviewed the layouts of these windows and breakable walls to make chases in this building fairer. Okay. Second, we have rebalanced several palettes to bring them closer to the sweet spot where they are both useful to survivors and have the potential for killers to play around them. We've also cleaned up certain lids and removed some small objects which players might bump into by mistake. Lastly, I've made a few art changes throughout the map to both improve visibility of objects which block your path and introduce small pieces of lore throughout the environment. Ooh, I do like lore. That'll be interesting to see, do Garden of Joy, because right now it's a mess. But right now, Garden of Joy, it definitely feels like a killer-sided map. It's very big, which helps out with killers, certain killers, and it's very hard as a survivor to play off of what they currently have. So I'm very interested in what they do to it. Red Forest, which I believe is another killer-sided map. The Red Forest is home to both Mother's Dwelling and the Temple of Purgation. I know the Temple of Purgation and Mother's Dwelling have both gotten touched on multiple times, so let's see what they do here. We have similarly reviewed feedback for both maps and are making a series of changes to improve gameplay on them as well. First and foremost, size. These two maps are some of the largest in the game. They sure are. This can cause some gameplay issues, causing the killer a lot of time to cross from one end to the other in search of survivors. And it means that certain killers also get advantages from it being a large map as well, and I just mean certain. We're reducing the size of both maps to bring them more in line with the rest of the realms. They did that with Shattered Square as well. New Shattered Square is interesting. It's a lot smaller. I really like the new Shattered Square. It's a lot smaller, and you would think that would give the killer more of an advantage, but not really. So I'm very interested in seeing Mother's Dwelling, Temple of Purgation, and Garden of Joy. I'm very interested in these map changes, but that's just me personally. I know not everyone's going to be excited for this, but personally, I am. Second, we've reviewed various palette loops and reduced the amount of vegetation surrounding them, making it easier to identify loops at a glance. Yeah, that's good. There's a lot of vegetation on this map, so definitely makes sense to do that. With that, we've reached the end of this developer update. Everything mentioned in the post will be available to try in the public test build, planned to start November 8th. With the update going live on all platforms in the weeks following, we look forward to hearing what you think. Until next time, do. So they did mention a PTB. I'm a little upset they've said nothing about the next licensed killer, but I'm very curious when they should release sometime soon. I really want to make videos watching those trailers. The reveal, the teaser trailer and all that. I don't believe those have been posted. I will check though and make sure. But overall, kind of exciting. Honestly, the map changes for all of the Red Forest, and on top of that, changing up Garden of Joy. Those three maps are some of the biggest maps. Shattered Square was another big map, but they reduced its size, so I'm very interested in what they'll do with them. The made for this change, I not sure how to think. I might be reading it wrong, but it kind of sounds like at least part of the perk is going to be locked behind being Deep Wound. And if that's the case, then it'll be very situational. And I could see them potentially having to change it in another way, but at the same time, but I need to experience it made for this to give more firm opinion. Trickster sounds a little busted. He sounds a bit more of a killer god now. Me and Orange already struggle with how he works now. The fact that he'll be able to get into main event more often is definitely going to be problematic. The add-ons sound very nice if you're playing as him, and very difficult to deal with if you're us. The fast pace is another part I'm a little nervous about, because now he's faster. So that's fun. And then the rapid fire parts make him throw even faster, removing his recoil. And removing the recoil sounds very busted. At least they helped out survivors by increasing that laceration meter and decreasing the time for it to start decaying. But again, it's still very it definitely sounds very killer-sided. Sounds very kind of busted. And then the player cards, I still think it's pointless. Although I'm very, very, very excited to see what designs that they decide to make with that, because if they're very good designs, and the fact that some of them are going to be animated, it's like I'm very intrigued about the player cards. I'm just someone who's never really seen the point of them, but I always like but I always love messing with them. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you like to, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share the video, ring the bell, do all the outfit garbage. It helps us out a lot, means a lot to us. We have released plenty of videos that no one has watched yet. There's a few story time with me videos that have pretty much died to me. One of them died as soon as I uploaded and didn't get any views there for a while. Now it's stuck at 2, and I know who the 2 views are, so again, it's dead. My Halloween special blooper video is like the best performing video we've uploaded the last few days, which is very surprising. The actual Halloween special, not the blooper, the actual one died very quickly, so check those out if you want to. There's some Overwatch 2 videos as well if you're into that game. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video, which could potentially be a PTB video, who knows. Bye.